I mean, I like my job. My job's a great job, but it's still a job. Would I rather have a day off or have a day at work? I'd rather have a day off. And I think that's the case for most people. There's very few people, I think, who prefer their days at work over anything else they could be doing in their spare time. And if that's the case, then you want to find things in your spare time that you truly want to do, you know. And because of that, when I go back to work, I actually look forward to being at work because I haven't been thinking about it all on my days off. I've had my mind elsewhere doing other things. So absolutely it helps, yeah, balance out. My name is Graeme Sams and I'm a pilot. Yeah, there's a big question. I do a lot of stuff in my spare time. I do a lot of outdoor stuff, fairly active, and I do a bunch of shop work, repair work, woodworking, working on old cars, motorcycles, that kind of stuff as well, yeah. Yeah, I've been listening to music my whole life and cared about music my whole life, for sure. I play guitar a little bit, but I'm no good. I never practice, so that's kind of my own fault. I've got a friend, Tyler, who sort of started me on the journey. He used to work at a store building, it was a wood store, and he was building different projects, and he started building guitars. And so I was talking with him, and then the spark started burning, and I was intrigued about trying one out. So I built my first electric guitar, watching a lot of YouTube and talking to Tyler and a couple other friends for some advice. I used my friend Ken's shop to do it because I didn't have all the woodworking equipment back then, and really enjoyed the process. So from then on, I got hooked, got more equipment for the shop, and started making my own guitars from there, yeah. You're not going to jump into something and try and be the best in that field and be an expert at that hobby right away. Start small, get your feet wet and grow, and realize that it's a journey. You've got years and years to try and get better at this. So don't try and get to the end game right away, or else you're just going to get frustrated and defeated. Yeah. I try not to make an obligation, or else you lose some of that. If you have to do the work, if you have to get something finished on time and you end up forcing yourself to go out and do a bunch of time in the shop every day, it's not as enjoyable. So you should want to do the job, you should want to do the work, and if you're in that mind frame, then yeah, it's absolutely enjoyable. Yeah, it's a great way to spend some time. I don't know, I think I was just like looking through the online ads one day and found a pinball machine that needed a bunch of work. I think it was that simple. I played pinball a little bit when I was younger. There's an appeal to pinball because it's physical. It's not just a video screen that you're interacting with. There's actual mechanics to it, and you can never win. In pinball, eventually the ball goes down the middle and you lose. There's no winning a pinball machine. In a video game, if you win the game and you get to the end, well, you're finished with it. There's no reason to play that. And if you bought a big arcade machine, you now have 300 pounds in your living room that you're not going to use anymore. Whereas a pinball machine, you never get to the end, so you keep going back to it, and there's enjoyability about that. And as I said, just the physical moving an actual physical ball around, there's something about the experience that just feels different than dealing with video on a screen. I think the classic games were more social because they were so simple, they didn't have the same depth. You didn't get quite lost in the world the same way. So it had to be, more cooperative. You usually had somebody with you at the machine playing side by side in the really old days, and that had its own appeal as well. Whereas the new games, it's mostly online and you're by yourself, locked into a little environment without the same real social interaction. And they're just so in depth. I mean, the scope of these games is incredible, right? But because of that, if it's gonna take you 500 hours to beat a game, I mean, that's 500 hours of your life that you've spent playing this one game. So, it depends on how rewarding that is and what you're sacrificing with your time to make that many hours available, to play. I like to learn new things. I like to challenge myself. I like to try different things, and I think it's, it's enjoyable to figure out a problem, to move by a challenge and that kind of thing. So whether it's physical, an activity you haven't done before, or it's a mental thing, trying to figure out how to make something work, how to get something achieved, or how to achieve something, it's rewarding. So yeah, I feel like if you have a bunch of different interests, you don't get bored, you don't waste your time sitting around wondering what to do.